Now we are going to study the graph of y is equal to tan of x. Now if you look at the graph of y is equal to tan of x, it is not the same. It is different than the sin x and the cos x. The sin x graph starts from 0 and it takes any values between 1 and minus 1. It goes to 1 and then 0 and then minus 1 and again 0. If you look at the graph of y is equal to cos of x, it starts from 1, goes to 0 at 90, minus 1, and then 0, and it goes to 1 again at 360. But if you look at the graph of y is equal to tan of x, it is something very different. The x-axis would remain the same. And here, the y-axis, the y could take any values. It can take any values between 1, 2, 3. It can go infinite. So here I am putting up till 10. Similarly, here I am putting up till 10. So it can take any values infinitely on the top, infinitely towards the down. It repeats every 180 degree. That means the distance between the two lines would be 180 degree. Now, what is this two lines? It has something that is called the acento. When I say it is called the acento, that means there are these two lines where the graph of tan of x will never touch. Okay, these are the acentos, and the acento is at every 180, where I have this tan of 90, which is undefined, and I have the tan of 270, which is also undefined. So these are the acentos, and my tan graph will never touch this acento. Since the tan of 90 and tan of 270 is undefined, we can never plot that on a graph. So instead, we draw this dotted line, which is given a special name, which is called the asymptote. Okay, so our tan graph will be closer to the asymptote, but it will never touch the asymptote. Now you start from 0, so our tan graph starts from 0. It will go close and close to the asymptote, but it will never touch the asymptote. Similarly, it will start from the bottom over here. It will go close to the dotted line, but it will never touch the dotted line. Similarly, again, it will go from here. It will go close and it will never touch the dotted line. So this is the graph of tan. Special key points that we have over here is 0, 0. So we know that the tan of 0 is 0. Tan of 90 is undefined. The second key point that we have over here is 180, 0, which says that tan of 180 is 0. Tan of 270 is undefined, so we have the asymptote. And then we have tan of 360, again 0. So these are our key points which helps us to define our special points at the tan. Know the shape of the graph of y is equal to sin x, y is equal to cos x, and y is equal to tan x. Now I would want you to try and pause the video and draw these graphs. Okay? For the values of x between 0 to 360 degree, that means our x would be between 0 to 360 degree. After you know to draw the graphs, we would look at the worksheet that is given over here. Now you have to sketch the graph y is equal to sin x for the values of x between 0 to 360. So what you would do, you would draw a 1 and a minus 1 and your key points. 90, 180, at 270 it is minus 1 and at 360 it is 0. And then you can start, it starts from 0. It will reach 1 at 90, 0 at 180, minus 1 at 270, and this would go up. So knowing the key points is really very important. Now we look at the next one. We want to sketch the graph of y is equal to tan x, where x is between 0 and 360. We know that the value of tan 90 is undefined. So first we draw this line, which is called the asymptote for 90. And we know that the value of 270 is undefined. So first we draw this special line for this asymptote, and we know that our tan graph will approach this asymptote, but it will never touch it. Okay, so our tan graph starts from 0. It will go closer and closer, and it will be closer, but it will never touch. Similarly, for here, it will come over here, it will cross 180 at 0, and it will be closer and closer, but it will never touch. Similarly, it will start from down, it will go to 360 at 0, and then it will go closer and closer, but it will never touch the special line. This is the graph of y is equal to tan x. Now for drawing the graph of y is equal to cos x between 0 to 360, we know it takes any value between 1 and -1. Our key points is 90. At 180 it is -1, at 270 it is 0, and again at 360 it is 1. So we start at 1, it will go to 0 at 90, it will reach its minimum at 180, it will again go to 0 at 270, and it will go to 1 at 360. Your cos of 360 is 1. So you should know these key points. Cos of 0 is 1, cos of 90 is 0, cos of 180 is -1, cos of 270 is 0, and cos of 360 is 1, and it repeats the same pattern for the next 360 to the right and for the next 360 to the left. Let's look over here. We want to sketch the curve with the equation y is equal to 2x. So anything raised to it, these are called the exponential graphs. Now, if you look at the exponential graph, we would do with the help of this so that you understand it better. Okay. When x is 0, your y is 2x, 2 raised to x. That means 2 raised to 0. Anything raised to 0 is 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. So you plot it here. When x is 1, y will be 2 raised to 1. That gives me 2. When x is 2, my y will be 2 square. That is 4. So when x is 2, y is 4. When x is 3, y is 8. So the exponential graph looks something like this. And it will be like this. So this is a figure of an exponential graph. So look at the next one. You're given the equation and I want the graph. A graph which starts from 0, goes to 1, 0. This is -1, goes to 1, come back to 0. This is a graph of y is equal to sine x. A graph that goes like this is an exponential graph of y is equal to 2x. So y is equal to 2x. This is an exponential graph. A graph which starts with -1, goes to 0, 1, 0, and -1. So this will be the graph of y is equal to cos of x. And an exponential graph, down and bottom. So the letter B, this will be an exponential graph. Exponential graph like this is y is equal to 2 raised to x. Let's look at the other sum. You want to sketch the curve y is equal to, here is a sketch of the graph y is equal to sine x. They want you to find sine of 150. So sine of 150, sine 30 is given to you. So say my sine 30 is over here. 90, 9, 180. So I've been given sine of 30 is half. This is half. I want to sketch sine of 150 and 330. Let's take this, make a horizontal line. I draw a line which would be here. Approximately 150 would be over here. So sine of 150 would also be half. So sine of 150 would also be half. Take this on your calculator. Your sine of 150 would be half. And sine of 330. Okay. 330 would be somewhere over here. You draw a horizontal line from 330. Or alternatively, you can use your calculator. And you will put sine of 330. So this is minus half. Minus 0.5, or you could say it is minus half. Now you're given a sketch of the curve y is equal to cos x for between 0 to 360. You want to find the value of x where is would be 0.4. Now if you see over here, this lies between 0 to 0.5. So where would 0.4 be? See properly. You need to see properly where would the 0.4 be. So your 0.4 would be 0 to 0.5. So that means this is 0.246810. So this would be 0.2. This would be 0.4. This would be 0.6. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4. First, you need to see where is your 0.4. I am just showing you this. So this would be 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4. Now I want the value of cos of 0.4. So what will I do? I will draw a straight line from here. And I will stretch the straight line across. Now I want cos of 0.4. The value of cos of 0.4 would be where it touches over here. Draw a straight line. Draw a straight line from here to the bottom. Now if you see, we wanted cos of minus 0.4. So minus 0.4 is over here. So we draw a straight line where it is going to touch my graph. That would be the value of cos 0.4. Now I have to carefully see the x coordinate, x axis. You see, the gap between 60 to 120 is how many blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 blocks. 10 blocks is the gap between 60 to 120. So if I divide this by 2, the half of it, so it would be 30. So that means this is 30. That means 1, 2, 3. The distance between 60 to 30 is 5 blocks. Now, if I want to know the value of every block, what will I do? Between 60 So 30 is 5 blocks. So 30 divided by 5. So every block is 6 for me. Every block is 6 for me. So this is going to be 6. Every block is 6 for me. So this is 30. So this is going to be how much? 36. Add another 6. This will be 42. Add another 6. This will be 48. Add another 6. This will be 54. Add another 6. This will be 60. So this is 30. So this is going to be, this is 30. So now 60. This is going to be 90. Because we are going from left to right. So this is 90 and this is 120 for me. Now I want to know here. If you see very properly, I want to find the value of cos minus 0.4. So it is somewhere over here. Okay. How do I know the value of 1 point? How do I know the value of 1 point? The distance between 90 to 120 is how much? 30. And how many blocks are there in between? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30 divided by 5. 6. I want the value over here. So this is 120. I want the value over here. So it would be 120 minus 6. This is going to be 114. 114. So the value of cos minus 0.4 is 114 degree. But it has another value also, which would be over here. So if it is over here, this is over here. So this is going to be 246. So the value of my cos minus 0.4, it would be 114 degree and 246 degree. Now I want to find the value of 4 cos x is equal to 3. So I will do cos x is equal to 3 by 4. Okay. So now the next one I want for cos x is equal to 3. So what I'll do is cos x is equal to 3 divided by 4. And if I do 3 divided by 4, it is 0.75. Now you look at your y-axis. Every gap is how much? Every gap is 0.1. Okay. So since every gap of 2 blocks is 0.1, so this is going to be 0.6. This is going to be 0.7 and this is going to be 0.8. I'm taking two blocks. Now I want 0.75. So it would be this one between 0.8 and 0.7. Since I want 0.75, so this would be the value of 0.75. Now I'm looking at this point and I'm looking at this point. This would be the value of cos 0.75 or cos 3 by 4. Let's take a line from here to the x-axis. And a line from here to the x-axis. So we want the value x is between 0 to 360 degree. Now look over here. Every block is 6. Now you're going towards the left from 16. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So it would be cos 30 and here it will be how much? This would be cos 330. You read the graphs properly, you should plot it properly and then do it. Over here, every block is 0.1, 0.05. So every two blocks gives you 0.1. So if it's over here, it is minus 0.1, minus 0.2, minus 0.3. So you draw it properly and get the value. Okay. You have the graph. This sketch shows you the graph with equation y is equal to px. The p and q are constants. The points with coordinates 0, 8, 1, 18 and 1.5 k is given to you. Calculate the value of p and q. Very well. I have y is equal to pq the whole raised to x. And I have the coordinate 0, 8. So this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. What will I do? I will substitute the x and y coordinates in the equation. So y is equal to 8, pq, this is 0. Anything raised to 0 is 1. So I will have 8 is equal to p. I got the value of p. Now I have another coordinate. My equation is y is equal to pq the whole raised to x. I have the other coordinate which is what? 1 and 18. So in place of y, I am going to put 18. In place of p, I have got the value as 8 and q raised to x. Okay. So now 18 divided by 8 is going to give me the value of q. So the value of q is 18 divided by 8. So the value of q is 9 over 4. I get the value of q. I want to find the value of p, q and k. Okay. Now I have the third point, that's y is equal to pq raised to x. And my coordinates are 1.5 and k. In place of y, I will put k. In place of p, I will put 8. In place of q, I'm going to put 9 by 4. And in place of x, I'm going to put 1.5. Okay. 1.5 is nothing but, if you do this in ST form, it gets 3 by, you're going to get k is equal to 8. 9 by 4 is to 3 by 2. Now I will solve this further. So I will get k is equal to 8. Okay. 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is nothing but half into 3. Half means square root. So square root of 9 by 4 cube. So I will get k is equal to 8. If I write root of 9 divided by 4, I'm going to get how much? 3 by 2. So 8, 3 by 2, the whole cube. Okay. Now if I do 8, 3 by 2, the whole cube. So 3 into 3 into 3 is 27, and 2 cube is nothing but 8. I can cut the 8 and I will get the value as k is equal to 27. So I got the value of p, I got the value of q, and I got the value of k. Okay, now I want you to pause the video and try the ninth sum. Okay, when you're trying the ninth sum, if you're asked to draw the graph where t is between 0 and 12, you're asked to draw the graph where t is between 0 and 12, and you're given the value of d. So what you're going to do, you're just going to plot the points. T is between 0 and 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can only take 7 points. Or if you want, you can take all the 12 points. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Get the value of D by substituting T. Okay. And you will get the value of D and you can plot the graph. First try and then come back.